Now, Michelle Collins is one of the few stars who escaped the clutches of the soaps and carved out a brilliant career. Since leaving EastEnders, where of course she played sinful Cindy Beale, she's had loads of TV roles. The latest is starring in Single, where she faces a very contemporary dilemma. Her husband of 20 years has left her, he's got another woman, and at 40 she finds herself having to get used to dating all over again. Here she is, contemplating her first blind date.
What is it with couples? I mean, if the numbers don't match, why don't they just take a chair away from the table?
Oh, you've got to go. It'll be awful.
And this is your sales pitch?
I bet your mate has said she thinks you'll really get on, hasn't she?
Of course.
Well, aren't you just curious about what this friend thinks of you?
In what way?
Well, this person they've lined up for you is the person they think is a good match. His looks, his personality, his dress sense, in your mate's mind, are a perfect reflection of your own.
You're counting on him being ugly, aren't you?
No, don't take it out on me. It's not me who invited you.
Well, she did say he was my type.
The second worst phrase a single woman can hear.
Stop pouring cold water on it, you. You've got to go, Sarah. It's got all the hallmarks of a classic evening.
I am not living my life to provide you with cheap laughs.
Aren't you?
I'm going to go and help my daughter with her laundry. I need some intelligent conversation. Goodbye.
Well, we'll see your blind date in just a minute. Hello, Michelle. Lovely to see you
Hello.
again. Very jet-lagged, as you've just explained, because you've been running a marathon and you've come straight from the airport, haven't you?
Oh, almost. I picked up my daughter from school first. She's here with me. Yes, I was in New York over the weekend on Saturday. It was a power walk, really.
Power walk.
A walking marathon?
But it still took us 8 hours, 13.5 miles, for a charity called Stonewall, which is
we know
gay,
Stonewall,
you know them, yes. And,
does that operate in America as well, Stonewall?
Yes, yeah, because it was the Stonewall riots that sort of gave it its name and everything. So, yes, so myself and 60 other people.
How was it?
It was brilliant. It was absolutely fantastic fun. I shared one with my sister and another girl. It was like being back at school again. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Because how I got involved, I bought my sister a weekend with Mr. Gay UK in New York at a Stonewall dinner in an auction. So they asked me to go. So I thought, I'll come for a laugh. And it was really, really great fun.
Oh, well done for that.
I did that when I was about...
You did a marathon?
No, well, it was a walk. It was a very long walk.
How long?
It was supposed to be from Blackpool to Manchester, but I only made it as far as Preston.
What, from where? From Blackpool?
From Blackpool.
Well, that's a good 2 miles. No, that's about 8
It
miles.
was awful. My feet were in blisters for absolute
Well, it was
weeks.
much harder than I thought it was going to be, I must say. I was really aching, but there were lots of Starbucks on the way to stop off. That sort of thing, you know.
Well, let's get back to Single. Well done. Ratings hit. Yeah, and rather touchingly...
And a critics hit, which is...
I was just going to say
really
that.
Good,
I thought
actually.
rather touchingly, you were quoted in a couple of papers as saying, it's the first time they've ever said anything nice about me.
It's true.
Yeah?
Well, I don't ever get anything.
Well, not even for Cindy. Cindy Beale.
No, because when I was in EastEnders, there were no awards for anything. Not that I don't know, they don't mean anything really, do they? I mean...
Oh, yes, they do.
I suppose they do, yes.
They
do when
do.
you've got one,
You do
don't
when
they, I
they've got one,
suppose.
yeah.
But they don't when you don't.
But there wasn't anything like that when I was in EastEnders. There were no sort of soap awards, there were no TV awards, and, you know, there were the BAFTAs, but they were, you know...
Forget it.
Oh, EastEnders.
Yeah.
It's all changed now, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's had to, because they're about the most popular things on television.
Well, they dropped us out of the National Television Awards, didn't they?
Sorry.
They jolly well did. It was a political...
No, you mean-
I'll say it here. It was a
Shut up.
political outrage. They abolished the category for Best Daytime.
Did they?
Yeah,
Right.
I'll tell you that after the programme.
You didn't miss much, it was boring. I've never been before, actually, it was a bit boring.
It's all right. I don't care.
I never thought Tony Blair was Rory Bremner, actually.
Really? Let's get back to Single. I want to see this guy that you eventually did. So there you are saying, I'm not doing it, and then you do, of course, you go along, and he's called Jim, isn't he?
Yeah.
OK, well, let's see you meeting Jim.
It's very funny.
All right.
This is Sarah.
Hello.
Hello.
This is my husband, Simon.
Hello, Simon.
Heard a lot about you.
Me too. About you, I mean, not about me. I know all about that.
And this is Luke and Jane. Hi. Hello. And this is Jim.
And he's with me, is he?
Hey.
And does it work out? You look quite pleased.
He looks all right.
Not really. He's a bit obsessed with his ex-wife.
Right.
And they actually they go on another date and they sort of get it together, and she goes back to his house and goes into his bedroom, and she falls back onto a picture of him and his wife's wedding day, and he says, we can't go in here, we can't go in here, and then he takes her into another room, which is the spare room, which is full of suitcases and everything.
Yeah.
And she does end up staying the night in a single bed. They sort of wake up in the morning like this. And he starts calling her his ex-wife's name and all that. So it's like,
God.
you know, don't go there.
But how scary is all that? The idea of, you know, being together with someone for so many years and then having to start all over again, you just wouldn't know, this happens to Sarah, you just wouldn't know where to begin.
Well, that's why I think it's touched so many people. Even on the flight today, the Virgin air hostess, was lovely, was saying, you know, God, it's just like me. Sarah's just like me. She can relate. Everyone can relate.
Well, how would
to
they know
her.
if they're virgin?
Virgin air.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Oh, God, you're on form tonight, aren't you?
I'm the one that's got jet lag, not you.
Go on.
He just said he didn't think George and Soup were very
It is
big.
very scary, and there are a lot of people out there that can relate to being single.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you think back to what it was like dating in your late teens and early 20s, it was scary enough then, right? It was, you know, when you were at your best. But, you know, how old is your character in it?
40. And she's been with Paul for 20 years.
20 years. So
It's a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
Like she says, you know, no one's ever seen me naked before apart from my doctor, my children and my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, you and I were saying we're having a kind of it wasn't because of your programme, but it could have been. We were talking about this the other day. We wouldn't know what to do, would we? If you, you know, if we had to date
But also, I
someone
suppose
else.
all your friends are in couples as well,
Yeah.
aren't they?
That's right.
And you have to decide who am I going to go with. And
Do you think
Now,
that the
your
dating would be
husband-
difficult because you get lazy when you're in a happy relationship? You know, you don't have to sort of do any of that stuff.
No, it's just not on the horizon, is it? You just...
possibly, but also Sarah wasn't, I don't think was particularly the most outgoing person anyway. I think she was sort of quite happily going along and you know, with her kids. So I think it came as a big shock. But what's good about it, it takes a humorous look. You know, when it started, it was 6 months before.
Yeah.
She's not maudling about
She's,
it.
she's not a victim.
Exactly,
In
and that's what I
fact,
didn't
she
want her
sort
to
of...
be.
Yeah, she kind of refuses to go back with her former
Yes.
husband, even though, you know, I mean, he's found someone else, but she chucks him and all the rest of it. It's chucks, that's
So what about you? I mean, you've never married, have you?
No.
What's the longest relationship you've been in? That's all right, isn't it? I want to ask you. What's the longest?
2 years.
That's not long, is it? God, well, what's going on there then? That's interesting. Is that is that
going on there?
Well, no, is that just?
It's national
You're an
TV.
attractive and successful woman and all the rest. Don't look for help from them. You won't get any help from them. No, just what is it? Is it?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of
commitment?
people.
Fear of commitment?
No, I suppose, you know, a lot of people have been married, a lot of my friends married in the past and aren't married anymore. I suppose I was just very careful about
Well,
the person I...
You're very independent as well, aren't you? And you like being
I am,
independent.
and I think from the age of, you know, sort of 16, 17, when I really wanted to be an actress, I was quite selfish and determined about it. You had to be quite single-minded, I think, about it. For a long, long time, so...
No time.
No, not
No time
really,
to commit.
I suppose.
Would you like to?
Yeah, I would.
But not that
I
much.
suppose,
I
Really.
can tell. That's,
No, I think everybody
I
wants
think-
someone deep down.
but she's not Bridget Jones, is she?
No, I do have a partner, but I think, you know, obviously for children, it's much easier enough to be married anyway, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, legally and in
Yes,
every way, and
you're right,
people, you do it for
practically.
your children, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose, you know, I'd like to be married.
All right,
Before-
I won't go any further.
Just before we leave this, because we were being told that you're planning to play Dusty Springfield
A biopic.
in a biopic. That's fantastic. She's one
Next
of my
year?
great heroines.
Yes, hopefully next year.
Will you mime or will you sing?
Well, I went to, they had a Dusty Day of all her fans, and this place in Harrow where she came from. And the fan club, they said, well, we don't mind you playing Dusty as long as you don't sing. So, why? But I understand what they mean, because, you know, nobody can
voice
be
was
Dusty.
unique.
She's got
It was
the most
incredible.
remarkable voice.
So I think
Yeah.
we'd probably use, you know, real footage and her real
voice.
yes, yeah.
And is that a TV biopic or a movie?
It's, it'll probably be a TV biog.
Oh,
Yeah.
But I've got something else which I should plug called The Illustrated Mum, and you've got children.
yeah,
Jackie
Jackie Wilson, yeah.
Which is coming out December the 29th.
Yeah.
On Channel 4, which is a one-off film.
okay.
About this mother covered in tattoos. It's based on the Ray Bradbury science fiction story, The Illustrated
That's
Man.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Have you got any tattoos?
No, I had loads for that. No, I haven't.
Well, listen.
They're a bit passé now, aren't they?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
that's what I think. That's what I
Absolutely,
keep telling my
very
daughter.
Yesterday. You're a yesterday shoulder.
Yeah.
Listen, congratulations on Single, because it's lovely. It's a really nice piece of work.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see you doing so well.
I'm proud of it. Thank you.
Good, you should be. Right then.